Welcome, subscribers, YouTubers, those of you who are interested in home-brewed, work in progress, which is now completed, my Tau emitter drone. I've completed the whole model. I'm going to show you that and then do the rule sets for it. I think it's kind of a unique device. I've come up with some fluff for it. I've come up with some specialty equipment for it, or special rules, I guess I should say. I've also thought that this would primarily be for home games, and depending on your guys' feedback, I might take it to places, hobby shops or whatever that have tables and play. Of course, this is set up in 5th, 6th edition, because I haven't played since then, so I know that the stat system that I set up is older and would have to be readjusted to the newer system. I just have to buy all the books for 9th edition. I think that's coming out, or it's already out. I think it's already out. But anyways, so what I'm thinking, by showing you the rule sets and the fluff and everything, is that I can get your opinion, your feedback on if you think, hey, that's too OP, or maybe you should bring it up a bit, just something that can give me some feedback so I know, hey, this is a fair item. I've shown it to a couple people. They think it's a good fair call, but I'd like to see your opinion on what you think it might be good for maybe even Games Workshop happens to be seeing this. Maybe something that they can produce and employ into the Tau army. So I'm going to show you guys next the rule set, the fluff, and all that good stuff here in just a minute. So stand by. Since there is a lot of verbiage in this fluff, I'll read it to you guys, and then you tell me what you think. Okay? So here goes. Since the time of Democulus' Gulf Crusade, oh, and also I want to apologize if I destroy any names or something, so sorry. So, restart. Since the time of the Democulus' Gulf Crusade, the Tau have been desperately trying to understand the workings of psychers and their abilities, the use of the warp and control of such incomprehensible power, and try to understand this extremely powerful weapon. The Tau captured as many psychers as they could from such sources as Grey Knights, Sisters of Battle, and Psychers of the Imperium, and other races. As the Tau have no knowledge or understanding the mysteries of the realm called the Warp, to try to understand it, they have turned to Earth-cast science for answers. After the conference of Theos Point, Enval spoke with Prince Ural about a great many things: the misunderstanding of the attack of the exodite planet of Iandan people, peace, and a mutual collaboration of both races. In turn, the Tau would allow the Iandan craft world to enter Tau space as a port of call, a haven, if you will, and the Iandan would let the Tau study the workings of psyker energies in a safe manner under the expert tutelage of the Iandan Farseekers and or warlocks. After decades of mistrials and shortcomings, the Tau could still not comprehend the skills and natural abilities of the Iandan psychers. However, they did discover that there are certain wavelengths, biorhythmic harmonies, and quantifiable sounds within the time continuum that could be cancelled out if replaced with the opposing information, thus denying the use of the psycher's power by manipulating the frequency. It was set forth to the ethereals for their approval. A name was given to this new technical wonder, the PSY-EMITTER drone. Within this drone was placed an uninhibited artificial intelligence to calculate and reconfigure the information being broadcast by the enemy psycher and canceling out that information. Gonna scroll down here a little bit. So here's the in-game. That was the fluff. So here's the in-game. After the drone is placed on the table in player turn 1, in player's turn 1, the drone will not function as it is receiving information broadcasted within the enemy psyker's phased turn. On the next player's turn, turn 2, the drone will activate during the enemy psyker phase and attack only then. So my thought for that part is that when a psyker attacks, the drone retaliates. The drone does not attack during the same time as the main Tau army would. It would be waiting to counterattack the psyker, and that's why it starts in on its second turn. Okay, so the PSY-EMITTER drone, I'm thinking a fair cost would be 75 points for what it can do and its abilities. So unit type is jetpack infantry. Unit composition is 1. Now here's where I'm talking about the old stats. So as you can see there, weapon skill 0, ballistic skill 8, strength 3, toughness 4, wounds 6, initiative 6, attack 1, leadership, we'll get to that, saves on a 3 up. Now underneath there, as you can see, if the PSY-EMITTER drone doesn't include 2 drones, the leadership is 0. If the drones are included, the leadership is 7. The reason why I went with 0, because I felt that they're putting a full AI brain in this drone. So now it's kind of self-aware in the sense that, hey, if I don't have any firepower and you're shooting at me, I don't want to die, so I'm going to leave. That was the idea for that. Okay, moving on. War gear. Hardwired black sun filter. Hardwired shield generator. Hardwired drone controller. Options. Gun drones are 12 points per model. Missile drones are 12 points per model. And heavy gun drones are 20 points per model. I looked online for heavy gun drones. Everybody has dimensions and or how they work and what weapon options they had. No one had an actual stat and or points cost. Now, I looked through a lot of the older paperwork that I had from third edition of Warhammer 40K when I started, and I thought that Forge World or Games Workshop had put out a piece of paper that stated, this is how many points you get, this is their stats, and la-di-da. I thought I downloaded it, but I didn't, so there it is. Let's scroll down a little further here. Here's the special rules. Supporting fire, that's for the gun drones only. If you do not have gun drones, you don't get the supporting fire. Here's the things that I came up with. There's a little bit of fluff there in this lighted area, and then the actual gameplay. So these are 2 special rules that I came up with. This is where I'm really concerned, and if you think it's fair. Okay, so the advanced harmonics locator. The PSY-EMITTER drone will hone in on information being broadcast from the enemy psyker and transmit an invisible canceling frequency high above the battlefield. Basically what that means, all Tau Empire units, which include Kroot and Vespid, within 30 inches of the PSY-EMITTER drone will benefit from a Deny the Witch roll. The second one, 0-point targeting systems. Once the PSY-EMITTER drone has configured the source and location of the enemy psyker, it relays that targeting information to its accompanying drones, and they will destroy that target without mercy. Basically what it means, all targeted enemy psykers will receive a -1 to a save throws. Because I figured, here's how it would work. You have the drone, the 2 accompanying drones. Being that the PSY-EMITTER drone has no weapons, it relays that information, and it's pinpointed it because it knows where that information is coming from, because the advanced harmonics right here, show it knows where the psyker is. So it's kind of like a marker-like kind of deal. It's pinpoint accuracy. Now here's where the heavy gun drones came in. This is something that I came up with, I thought was fair. You let me know. So as you can see there, yep, still the old standard. Weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 3, strength 3, toughness 4, wounds 2, initiative 4, attack 1, leadership 7, saves on a 4 up. Underneath, due to the size increase of a heavy gun drone, the compartment for the AI brain was also increased, thus giving it a +1 to the ballistic skill and weapon or wounds versus a standard drone. So from information that I found out and from looking at models and whatnot, your average drone might be 0.8 meters wide, where heavy gun drones are 1.8, roughly in size, so they're much bigger. So that's why I figured it's bigger, so it should be made a little bit better. And with the bigger space, now comes more space to put a bigger brain in. Thus, the ballistic skills would become 3. And then being that it's heavier, it should have 2 hit points before it dies and flies away off the table. And that is only for heavy gun drones. Now I'm going to show you the models. So yeah, let's take a look at those right now. So here's the finished model. I don't think I'm going to be painting any more details to it. I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. Let me turn the light here a little bit that way. There's a little better. Yeah, styrofoam ball, not so great, but hey, it is what it is. So as you can see, there are some towel parts on there. I've set up the paint. Back end here. I'm still thinking I might do a little more detail on the thruster and the intake of the motor down here. But there it is. There's the PSY-EMITTER drone completely done. Here's how it would look if you had it on the table with 2 gun drones. So put those there. So as you can see, next to the 2 gun drones, it's quite large. Let's add troops. Put some troops here. And put this one back here so you get an idea. Let me move this one over here. Put him back there for a sample. And then you can kind of get an idea how big it is next to fire warriors. Yep, this is a female fire warrior, and there's my male fire warrior, the Shazveer, or Shazwi. That's a Shazwi, Shazla. And then next to a crisis suit. So this drone is really big. Thus the 6 wound points, because I figure a lot of people are going to be shooting at it. And with the drones, as you can see, there's no weapons on it, so it relies on drones to be its backup. And that's why I said I came up with the point system for 12 points for these guys each, because that's what it was in the book. I didn't want to include them as free for the unit. I figure for what this unit does, it basically goes after psyker characters. And so that's why it's going to cost even more. So basically 95 points if you go with heavy gun drones, which are normally loaded with twin burst cannons or burst cannons and marker light. So this could be a heavy duty hitter, but once the gun drones go, it's only going to stop the psyker from attacking, and then if someone shoots at it and it loses its leadership ability, then it's going to flee off the table because it doesn't want to die. So I hope this is a good representation of a tabletop idea of mine. If you go back to the first part where I drew it out on paper and showed you the pieces, this is the finished product. I think it turned out pretty good, considering that came out of my brain. And maybe, somewhere down the road, the Games Workshop or Citadel people will get together and go, hey, if they see this, and they'll say, hey, that's a pretty good idea. Because this gives the Tau army and us Tau players a chance to retaliate against everybody who's psyker. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you type below your thoughts on the information that I shared with you about this PSY-EMITTER drone. If you think it's fair, if you think it's overpointed cost, you think that's too high, if you think maybe it should have something else added to it, I mean, it's got a shield generator already for itself, so that does have some survivability. So, yeah, just let me know. I really appreciate it. Thanks again for stopping by, checking out my channel. Thank you, subscribers. I really appreciate you guys hanging around with me. Until the next one, people, you guys have a great time, great day, great night, great weekend, holiday, whatever time it is that you see this. Hope it's a great one. And we will chat at you in the next one. Hasta la vista, baby.